There's no starter in the room. Be respectful to the guys. There's no real starter. So why you talked about giving everybody, equal reps at being the #1 quarterback?
Nobody cares how many reps you got. Whenever you get in the game, nobody cares if you took a snap before. Everybody cares about production. So that's the main thing. When you get out there, you got to be able to produce.
Players, I don't know about y'all, but I've been talking to players and I've been talking to coaches. Not to get into no names, but I know people everywhere. And they been saying, yo, this young kid ain't no 5th round draft pick. He's looking really, really good.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
So here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And we got another Shedeur video coming up, but before we get into it, make sure you guys go ahead and check out the merchandise at the shop. We got Father's Day coming up, so what a great way to get a Father's Day gift and also show support to the channel. And so we all know that Shedeur Sanders is going to be starting for the Cleveland Browns at some point this season.
It's time to move on with the new, out with the old. Players, I don't know about y'all, but I've been talking to players and I've been talking to coaches. Not to get into no names, but I know people everywhere. And they been saying, yo, this young kid ain't no 5th round draft pick. He's looking really, really good.
But now people are starting to say, like I suggested early on when he got drafted, they need to find out sooner than later.
You know what Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco is going to bring. Joe Flacco is 41 years old like me, 40 years old. So if he going to bring you 5 games, why is he even here? And I'm being real. Why is he even here? You should let the young boys spin. Let these boys battle this thing out in preseason. If Shedeur plays better than him, he goes out there. If Dylan Gabriel plays better than him, that's what y'all want because y'all drafted him first. He goes out there.
And Shedeur's been doing his thing. He's been lighting it up. He hasn't been going against the #1s, but he's dominating who's in front of him. And somebody else that hasn't been going against the #1s, but hasn't looked nearly as good as Shedeur Sanders is Jackson Dart in New York. So Shedeur Sanders is going out there and he's handling his business. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he's been doing his entire career. But something that really stood out to me was an interview I came across with Shedeur Sanders, and I've seen a lot of Shedeur Sanders interviews. I've seen him talk a lot. And we all know when you go through things, especially trials and tribulations, that leads to maturity. It leads to a level of maturity if you handle it the right way. And Shedeur Sanders is definitely handling it the right way. I'm going to go ahead and let the interview play, and then, of course, I'll come back and chime in.
Nobody cares how many reps you got. Whenever you get in the game, nobody cares if you took a snap before. Everybody cares about production. So that's the main thing. When you get out there, you got to be able to produce.
So when you first walked in the door right before rookie minicamp there, to where you are now, where do you think you have grown the most?
I'd say spiritually. That's why I say I've grown the most. After draft, getting closer to God and definitely talking to him consistently, having a real relationship with him. That's why I say I've grown the most at.
Just the conversations with Joe, with Kenny, even with Dylan, just how valuable are those for you, and how much do you are you able to just learn from just talking through things, whether it's a play or any part of this job?
It's real fun having those guys in the room though, because we all are quarterbacks. We all feel similar ways, but nobody always talks about it. So Joe's the old guy in the room, so I joke with Joe all the time. Every day I see him. And Kenny, he had his experiences throughout his career overall, so then we just share a lot of the same things. And Dylan, of course, we're the same age group, Those guys are older. So me and Dylan, we're the same age group, so we just talk about experiences, just in college and everything so far.
Shedeur, what kind of jokes do you crack with Joe? It seems like you got him to smile a couple times out there during practice.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell him all my jokes now. I can't tell you all my jokes, but like whenever you see them or they mic'd up or anything like that, all that stuff is real. That's real questions, but I don't know, because it be in spur in the moment, and then like after that, then okay, it's time to lock back in. Like our minds are always consistently and constantly moving, so I honestly don't even remember what we talked about on the field, honestly.
And on that note of locking in, it seemed like right as y'all were going over to the sideline for film review, Joe was giving you some pretty detailed advice on something. What was he walking you through? Do you remember?
Just how to get through the reads quicker and those type of things. And I asked him, I was like, hey, let me know what you think, like what I need to do. So it's like he's seen it, he played it, and like he's a pro. you know, so it's like I'll be dumb, I'll be a fool to not get insight for somebody that had success over all the years that he had.
Hey, Shedeur, Coach Dansby said that not many college quarterbacks run play action from under center anymore. Has that been, what kind of challenge has that been? Because it's a big staple of his offense.
Well, it was good that I grown up Little League and all that stuff under center, so it bring me back to Little League days. So I got a good foundation, and now I definitely am gonna improve on that. But I have a good solid foundation, and just prep for pro day and all that different type of stuff. Really make me more comfortable with everything. Everything in life, in any aspect, is gonna be a challenge. So it's just, are you gonna be the one to overcome the challenge, or are you gonna let that challenge get you? So that's how I attack it, and I just want to always look the most professional as possible.
Hey, Shedeur, you mentioned that this is one of, if not the first time that you've been in the back of the line for reps.
Stuff really make me more comfortable with everything. Everything in life, in any aspect, is going to be a challenge. So it's just, are you going to be the one to overcome the challenge, or are you going to let that challenge get you? So that's how I attack it, and I just want to always look the most professional as possible.
Hey, Shedeur, you mentioned that this is one of, if not the first time that you've been in the back of the line for reps. So how are you managing that part of the challenge?
I'm managing it real well. Yeah. Overall, it's a mentality. It's mental. It's a lot of people in certain situations in their own life, you know, that may not be at the forefront, that maybe had that at one point in time, but you got to know it's going to be bright days eventually, whenever the time comes. So you just always got to be prepared, and you got to mentally take it as just an experience, you know. For anything in life, you got to go through different things so you can understand the message that, you know, God's trying to give you. So that's why everything I'm way more grateful for, just to come out here, to be able to throw the ball around and just be able to get on the field. Like, everything off the field, it is what it is, but everybody know when it's time to get on that grass, then you know who I am.
Shedeur, you just mentioned
goal is for this first off-season workout program and your first training camp. There's obviously a lot of talk about, like, well, can you be the starter as a fifth-round pick? Like, will you make the team? Like, what is your goal when we get to, you know, September and the games are really getting played in the roster?
My goal is to be the best teammate and to be as polished as I can be. So, in every aspect, I view things as I got time. I got time to be able to grow and mature, you know, and be able to understand the ins and outs of the defenses and be able to get the good insight from the vets in the room. So I look at it as, you know, a plus. Like, I got time to actually be able to really have a great understanding. And whenever, you know, it's time for me to play, then it's time for me to play. But I'm not looking too far in the future about all that. I'm looking about every day in practice, because I had some misses out there today that, you know, we got to go in there and correct, about Reeves getting in and out drops a little bit faster from under center. So that's the main thing. I'm focused on the small things, and over time, the big things will happen.
Shedeur, you mentioned your spiritual growth when you first started. What made that happen now?
Well, I wouldn't say now. I always know when God's talking to me. Like last night, if any of y'all see, I tweeted something, because you know, when you sleep, you're most vulnerable. So then that's when I got like real bad. You know, God talked to me in that time. So, and I'm able to recognize that, because before pro day it was the same thing. So that's how I know I'm on track. You know, that's how I know I'm living in my purpose, and I understand everything happened for a reason. So I just got a message like that night, and I had to sleep with my flashlight on last night. I slept with my flashlight on last night because I was too scared.
Shedeur, to go back to the reps and maximizing the reps you're getting, and you talked about a lot of the work you do inside the building too. Just how do you think you're handling that and maximizing the chances you're getting out here by also doing work inside and after practice and things like that?
Well, that's no different than that's normal than what we grew up doing and what we've been doing at Colorado and Jackson. So I just feel like I'm back in my element. You know, it's grass, it's fresh grass. You hear the birds outside, you understand what peace is at this point in life. So, you know, I'm back in my element. I'm excited to be here.
A couple more.
Shedeur, are you more comfortable now? Do you feel?
Do I look more comfortable? I look more comfortable, huh? So yeah, of course I feel more comfortable here. I would say it's just a mindset, it's just an adjustment. You got to go and understand the situation that you're in and be able to approach that and get the best out of it. So life is just based on how you view different things. So you could view things as you're not getting reps in a negative way, or you could view it as, okay, when it's my time to get out there, let's be proactive and let's get warm, let's get going, so there's no excuses. Because when you get out there, nobody cares how many reps you got. Whenever you get in the game, nobody cares if you took a snap before. You know, like everybody cares about production. So that's the main thing. When you get out there, you got to be able to produce.
And so no matter what Shedeur looks like once the pads go on, he already showed me in this interview that he's ready for the big time. He's ready for the prime time. Because as we all know, being a starter in the NFL, being the face of a franchise, is not just about the talent on the field. You got to be able to speak in front of the microphone. You got to be able to represent not only your organization, but also yourself and what you stand for. And it seems like he's already mastered speaking to the media. And that's a credit to Deion Sanders. I'm sure Deion Sanders has learned from some of his past mistakes. He's not perfect, but he's able to pass a lot of that knowledge on to his sons. He knows what it's like not to want to have to speak to the media after you're done playing, to make sure you don't throw anybody under the bus, to make sure you don't throw your coaches under the bus, to make sure you don't throw your teammates under the bus. And so it seems like Shedeur Sanders has mastered it. And then on top of that, he's very charismatic. He seems like he's very charismatic and also very transparent. And that's something that the media always loves. Not only the media, but the fans as well. And so I think that aspect of his off the field game is already mastered. And so once he finally does get his opportunity, good or bad, you can already tell he's going to know how to handle it. And that's always a good thing. But that's going to be a wrap for this particular video. Make sure you guys go ahead and chime in below as y'all usually do. Go ahead and try to keep the conversation going. And if you haven't done so already, like I said earlier, go ahead and check out the merch at the shop. Got Father's Day coming up, and what a great way to support the channel as well. And as usual, peace, chaos.